Hello YouTube viewers. आज हम हैं स्केल कॉन्फ्रेंस पे. We are very blessed to be in this scale conference Mumbai 2026 and today we have with us, can you please
Sandeep
introduce
Singh, CEO of ISHITVA Robotic Systems.
Okay, so as you can see, our world is dealing with a garbage problem. So he has a very unique and intelligent tool to solve it. So can you talk about your company?
Yes, we started with the inspiration taking from Swachh Bharat mission when it was introduced in 2016. One of the main problem why we see waste everywhere, all the cities, landfills, etc., because waste is in mixed form. In order to really extract value out of it, you need to segregate into different categories. I'm not only talking about plastic, paper, high-level categories. You need to separate on the basis of polymer, grades, colors. It's a humongous task.
So basically, if you are saying that if we have garbage, garbage itself is not the problem, is the fact that they are mixed together that is the hassle.
Basically, it has a zero value if it is mixed. It has enormous value. It is a resource if it is segregated. And that is what we are solving with the help of our artificial intelligence-based sorting solutions. Proudly speaking, we have the largest waste classified database in the world, and which is built in India. We have been working on this since last almost 9 years. And now we reach a scale that any object, when it comes in front of our AI tools, it can identify the object to a very granular level of details, and then it can separate on the respective categories.
Okay, so whenever we are talking about separation, generally we are familiar with plastic to metal separation because one would be magnetic, another would not be magnetic, and we can just separate it out. Or separating based on weight. If it's like, it sinks on water, okay, it's one thing, it does not float, it's a different thing. How are you able to go so much deeper that you can select, okay, this is the polymer? Because again, most of these things have almost similar properties. They might be of the similar weight, they might be of the similar color even. So how you are able to like almost have a person there who's like doing this? Like that's what you're trying to replace a human with an intelligence asset. That is like, okay, you don't have to be there. A person does not have to go and look and collect items. You can do it with machines.
In fact, we are going beyond it. So what is happening that sorting for recycling or sorting for circularity is very different compared to sorting for just avoiding the waste problem. So what we are doing, we are making sure that we are able to identify the material on the polymer level. Plus also we are making sure if it is going for food grade recycling, it should be only food grade material. Let's say for PET food grade recycling, bottle to bottle grade, only PETs which are bottle to bottle grade, food grade bottle should be going there. If it is a pesticide bottle, if it is a chemical bottle, we ensure that it is separated.
Okay, hold on. This is a big topic that somehow you are able to separate basically a Bisleri bottle from a hydraulic sulfuric acid bottle. Let's just say you can separate those, even though both can come in plastics, so to say.
It comes.
So basically, you do not want Harpic bottle mixed with Bisleri bottle. That's what, if I'm understanding.
Yes, Harpic is a HDP. Just to give you a right example, you may have a Dettol bottle coming along with a Bisleri bottle, both are PET, and then we make sure that Dettol bottle, even if it is PET, it should not go for bottle to bottle grade application. If it is bottle to fiber application, it is allowed. So all those recipes, all those permutation and combination we create and ensure that it is automated.
Okay, now how are you observing what plastic it is? That's the first question. It's like, how are you seeing? Because that's the second thing. Separating is one thing, but like how the heck you are knowing? Because again, you can't use magnetic fields on basically plastics and all that. So how are you seeing that, okay, this plastic is that? Like what tools you are using to observe that?
So we were one of the first player to be incubated by in NVIDIA program. Our machine learning tools have been built over the years to that refinement. We are able to identify the brand level of tracing and mapping, even if it is deformed, crumbled, or very crushed form. We see the material. So our machine learning algorithm is so appropriate and accurate that it is able to get that level of information to us, and in a short span of time, we see, and within fraction of a millisecond we separate. So it's a very fast in terms of decision making as well. So that it's not an overnight development. We have been working on it over the years and reached that stage. And yes, we are able to separate in India. There are bottle-to-bottle grade recyclers using our technology. There are FMCG suppliers to FMCG companies for cosmetic grade, for oil grade, and all those applications they are using our technology. And we are making sure that they achieve a scale with our automation.
So would it be fair to say that you guys must have a lot of cameras and maybe even hyperspectral cameras, infrared cameras, ultraviolet cameras in order to see? Because again, optical may not be good enough to tell you like different varieties of plastic. But again, each plastic has a different, what you call signature in their optical spectrum and all that.
So sorting or segregation happens in the industry in layers. So it depends on what problem statement we are solving. And accordingly, we choose and we use the technology. Yes, we have RGB cameras, we have hyperspectral cameras, we have different sensors available. We are a sorting focused company. If you see our tagline is we sort to create value. So depending on what is the situation and what is the application we are targeting, accordingly we use the sensors, etc. But most informative and differentiator factor here is our AI tool, which is built on billions and billions and billions of waste classifiers. So that is how we are different from what all the people doing in the world right now.
Let's just say, take example of rough problem statement. I am running a municipality.
Yep.
I have a lot of garbage.
Yep.
And I know that because again, while doing plastic recycling sounds easy, it requires a lot of supply chain, as in like somebody has to collect it, transport it and do it and hope that they give me enough value to justify it.
Correct.
But let's just say, I know that there are a lot of plastics that are very well suited for pyrolysis, that I can convert them into liquid fuel, but not all plastic.
Yes.
Some plastics are like very comfortable. You convert them into fuel, you have a liquid fuel and you have useful materials that can be used on site.
Yeah.
It's much cost effective and I no longer have to deal with microplastic. So can this problem statement be solved by your tools, where it's like, okay, I'm sorting the garbage and I'm going to give you a useful plastic and plastic that you should segregate?
You are absolutely right, hitting the nail. I'll just further refine it. The mixed garbage which we are generating, there is a concept which I talk and people refer to my statement in many of the times. You need to fractionate, liberate, then separate. So from compactor, when the mixed waste is coming, there are mechanical interventions needed to prepare the material for segregation. Those mechanical interventions are also we create, because we have many patented innovations.
Are you talking about shredders?
I'm talking about screening systems like size-based separations, and then how to open up the material, because in the truck compactors when the municipal waste is coming, it is sticking to each other. You need to make sure that objects are opened up. And then it comes to our sorter. So all those mechanical interventions also we have created. And then it comes to our sorting solutions. Yes, depending on what you are going to do with the material, you need a certain type of material to be going there. Like even for pyrolysis, there is certain level of purification is required in the input feed. For them, let's say, hypothetically speaking, PET could be a problem, PVC could be a problem, all those challenges could be a problem, right?
Yeah.
So you remove those objects. And also, our thought process has always been how to enable circularity. As a mindset of company, we have always been thinking in that pattern. So our first priority will always be to recover the recyclable which can come back into the ecosystem, right? And recover in that fashion. And then something which cannot be recycled based on current set of technologies which are being available in the location. That material should be going for applications like waste to energy, pyrolysis and all those applications, because you're breaking the chain in some way. Whatever can be coming back as a resource to mechanical recycling industry, for example, should come back and separated on that basis. So your HDP, different colors of HDP, PET, polypropylene. There's a vibrant recycling community in India. Why don't we utilize and get that material available to these guys to bring back into the ecosystem?
Okay, now a lot of people have a very burnt experience with plastic recycling. The primary reason is they never get enough money from it. And you are specifying that the reason why they will not get money is mixture. It's not a clean, like, okay, if Bisleri only gets Bisleri bottle return, they're happy to pay you a lot of money for it. But if you give them Bisleri bottle mixed with other stuff, they are not happy with it.
Let me say it in a different way. Majority of recycling done in the world is mechanical recycling right now, right? 93%, some data says 93%. In India, possibly it is 99%. Mechanical recycling is a process where I'm a chemical engineer, but the way I define it, it is a garbage in, garbage out process. The only logic to produce, or one of the primary logic to produce good quality pellet is how well refined infeed you are providing, right? So if you purify the infeed in a great way or in very refined way, you will get that kind of quality. So for example, bottle to bottle grade bottles going for bottle to B2B pellets. Your cosmetic grade bottles are being used for produce cosmetic pellets, and all those linkages are established. We create those recipes and run our machines on that basis, depending on what the customer wants to achieve. If recyclers are able to produce good quality pellets, brands will be able to accept that material, because brands will not accept inferior recycled output.
Because then it becomes a
compared to virgin, right? So that is not possible. It is no more a theory. It is a practical reality. Today, Indian recyclers, with the help of our technology, are producing the kind of pellet which are going for those applications. It's all about creating that infrastructure and volume more. It's more voluminous, so that it makes economic sense to brands to start shifting completely.
Okay, so you have AI that does the job of an eye, that sees everything, organizes everything, and you have enough granule control that you can filter out almost everything. It's not even like, okay,
Yes.
You can maybe able to separate like a distillery bottle with other brand also.
Yes, we are doing it.
You can do that. And again, you do not have to worry about what is the contamination, what is the mixture. You can sort all of it out. Cool,
Correct.
awesome. That takes care of the brain part.
Yes.
You have the eye, you have the brain. How do you physically remove it? Do you use magnetics? Do you use pneumatics? What do you use in order to separate it? Because at some point you have to do physical action.
Yes.
So what is your physical
So
muscle?
you can see, for example, the sorter, if you can see here, we are separating with the help of pneumatic. So our vision system, which is orange box here, I don't know if it's visible on the video or not.
It will be visible on the TV.
So, or orange box, which we call it netra, or vision, the way you described. It sees the material, and when it reaches the pneumatic system, precisely it will hit at the center of gravity of the object which he wants to separate. And that's how we separate. So pneumatic we use in some situation where for quality check applications, we also use robotic flap-based systems.
Okay,
so all
kicker,
those systems.
those sort of
So as well as robotic pick and place. So depending on the problem statement, we can we have a complete range of offerings to mechanically operate and separate it. We are now you'll be proud to know that in India we have created fully autonomous material recovery facility. Even the decision making is done by our AI. It is not a supervisor which is going to select what to separate at what point in time. Entire decision making is done by AI. Effectively, you are feeding the mixed waste, and all different categories are coming out in the respective bunker without any human intervention. So it is achieved in India first time in the world.
Okay, how many subcategories you have managed to hit? Like, let's just say you have one garbage in.
Yeah.
How many categories you have gotten out?
If you talk about how many categories we can do, that is numerous, 100 plus.
Practically,
But
what you have done?
In
like,
one of the centers, we are doing 18 categories using only 3 sorters. We are creating 18 categories, and those 18 categories are directly being utilized for recycling process.
okay, do you all do all of this in one go, or like you have require like stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3? Like a lot of systems, like they will separate things, and then like, okay, you have to separate again in order to achieve precise separation. So you have like one hit scenario, or like you have to recycle it again and again in order to achieve?
No. It's a one go. You'll get the good material out. Okay. It's a loop-based system which keep on separating the material into the bin. There is no further processing required at that article. But yeah, the question, why you need, as I said, you need to do purity enhancement in the stages. There could be SDP bottle with polypropylene cap. So all those situations which are inherent with the packaging. So that happens when you shred and then you use polymer-based sorter. That is also something which you provide. You use polymer-based sorter and separate those kind of impurities which are coming because of label or coming because of the cap or other parameters of the packaging. So we do we separate that at the polymer level. We also make analyzer with the machine we are showcasing here. Whatever flake you are producing, that flake you can analyze autonomously. You don't even need a lab.
Okay.
You analyze
on site. You can do this on site.
In line as well.
Okay.
You integrate the machine in line, and on a regular basis you are getting the ppm level of purity report, so that you know whether this batch is suitable for this production or not. It requires for the processing. We are automating even the lab process.
Okay, so let's just say you got a batch from some dirty place, like let's just say river waste, or it has too much water contamination.
No, I'm not talking about that. Sorry to cut you off. In the recycling process, when you done the washing process, decontamination process, you prepared the, you do the shredding or crushing, and then you use those shreds to make the pellets. So before making the pellet, at that level, again you do QC quality check and make sure that the ppm level of shreds are proper for that pellet application.
Okay.
So that is also automated.
So basically, you are creating ability for India to digest garbage in-house and without requiring unsafe human labor, and you can reduce pollution simply by not creating waste, and your waste can be recycled far more effectively because you are giving the customer what they want. Not like, okay sir, you have to recycle this. It's like, no sir, you would like to recycle it because it's cheaper for you and it's not contaminated, so it won't be like, okay, it's a degraded material. It will be precisely separated to what they want. Like you can match their spec sheet. It's like, I want this quality, you can match that. Okay, what about the sizes? Like, do you have to have big structures, or like as in like full plastic bottle, or shredded? Like how small you can shred them?
No, we can do both.
Okay.
Depending on the, again, these are the problem statements, because accordingly we will suggest the sensors of the systems. So we do both. And just referring to your point, which you said that India should utilize waste, absolutely. That is the primary resource now for future available with India, because India is a consumption country. We are resource hungry. We are not, there are two types of nations I see in the world right now. One is resource captive, one is resource hungry. We are resource hungry. We need to utilize our waste. Today we are doing for plastic. We are also now ventured into metal. So we are doing for copper, aluminium. We have XRT solutions. We have different level of AI solution implementation for metal industry, glass industry. We are getting into paper. We are getting into biomedical waste. Every resource should be converted. Every waste should be converted as much as possible as into resource and utilized by your country.
So basically, you are working your ass off to make a closed loop economy.
Yes.
So it's like garbage in
Yes.
and not garbage out, garbage in, and you have useful product out.
So the only difference that many countries have done very well for waste, but a lot of countries so far have done very well in disappearing waste, making the waste disappear.
Yes.
They use
Yes.
waste to energy, etc., and we are using that as a primarily energy source.
Yeah, and most,
What difference we want to bring? At least this is personally as ISHITVA, our dream is we want to make sure whatever is recircular, whatever is the potential to be circular consumption should be extracted, bring back as a resource to the economy, and balance can be used for other energy applications. So that is what the dream is.
and again, there is also a darker side. A lot of countries actually ship their garbage somewhere else. Like we end up, especially with e-waste, it's like it has a really bad record where they ship it to either to Pakistan, India, or some African nation, and they say they are clean, but it's just like their garbage box is somewhere else. And you are solving that problem. You are like, okay, we will not have this issue. We will not have plastic issue. Metal also you are working on. Do you have any plans to jump into electronics?
The e-waste you're talking about?
Yeah.
In e-waste today, we can tell you what is the value of e-waste, and we sort on the basis of that. For example, just to give you one example, PCB boards. What is the value of that PCB board? How many rare earth components or quantity is there? Accordingly, we can separate the material and create categories. So e-waste would be a very important e-waste, as well as the EV, not EV. I'm talking about the vehicle scraps would be a very interesting new vertical for us, which we are working very.
Okay, so you have expansion plan also.
Yes.
Okay, so far we understood about technology. Now talk about the company, what the company is doing, what it's planning to do, and what your future hopes, so to say.
We are, as an institution, our focus is sorting. So in industrial value chain, sorting enhances value of the material because it purifies the material. It creates the raw material from a mixed input. So our focus is sorting. We sort to create value. It can, we entered into plastic and waste first. We got into metal now. We are getting into glass now. We are getting into food processing as well. Because in food also there is a lot of efficiency which can be brought by efficient segregation or purification methods. That is something also we are doing. So our core focus is sorting.
So you sort stuff, like people give you stuff, you sort it out the end.
We make machinery to sort stuff. We don't operate the facilities. We enable them. We bring the technology, we enable them to achieve that.
Okay, if you are at the liberty, please talk about what sort of cost a municipality is looking at. Let's just say there is a municipality who wants to use your tools. What kind of money they are looking into, like for how many tons per day, that sort of thing. So give some numbers.
So that is a very tricky
rough idea. It does not have to be precise.
But I'll tell you, every municipality, the quantum is very different. So, the scale of the infrastructure which needs to be created is very different. However, the way we have created the machine, it is like a Lego block. Depending on how much ton needs to be processed and what is output needs to be achieved, we arrange those Lego blocks and create that offering. Create the complete solution for the system. It could start as low as, I would say, hardly 3.5 crore investment.
For how many tons?
We are talking about 10 to 15 ton per day. Even the smaller cities now adopt automation. Earlier, it was very challenging. So, right, there are some projects we are working on these parameters. So, you can start from as low as that, but depending on if it is 100 ton, 200 ton, 300 ton.
So,
the scale could be
you
different.
no longer have that issue where it's like it has to be like hundreds of ton only, then you can afford to do it.
Precisely.
You can do it.
You articulated it much better than me. Yes, it's no more required that only beyond 100 ton automation is possible. Even 10 ton plant can be automated.
Which again, in India, it's like, bro, that 10 ton is like, even village will have almost that much. That's not that difficult anymore.
Yep.
And again, if you can generate value, then people are more likely to do it because it's again, people have to pay for waste management. Might as well make value out of it, which either A, reduce cost, or B, ideally, make profit also.
Correct.
If either side happens, even if it becomes cheaper for municipality, it's better for them. Nobody likes to spend money, so it's good for them. And if they can generate revenue, that will also be like.
I'll add one more point here. There are certain tasks which should not be done by human. That is where automation is a necessity.
Yeah.
And if you see the value chain, if we solve the problem of segregation, enormous opportunity can be created for collection, enormous opportunity can be created in recycling and the forward ecosystem. Real bottleneck is the material is not being able to extracted, segregated. That is something which we are solving. So we believe technology like ours will create a resource revolution in the country, and that is something which we are aiming to.
Okay, so your aim is not just like sorting it. Sorting is just a tool that allows more things to be done. Like you are basically root. You do that thing, and after that, people can expand how much they want. Okay. So tell our audience how they can reach your company, and if they want to have any discussion with you, any your WhatsApp link or something like that.
Sure.
Company link.
Company link is ISHITVA.in. If you can visit our website, all the contact details are available there. You can email at bd@ishitva.in. You can personally email at sandeep@ishitva.in. Please reach out to us. We are geared to solve this problem for India. Please help us and let's support and create the resource infrastructure, resource revolution for this country. Thank you.
So this was a very eye-opening and very proudful analysis. I'm very happy that somebody is actually useful AI utilization rather than making a slop in slop video. So I'm very happy. NVIDIA, good choice. Very good choice. Very good choice. That's how we're supposed to use AI to actually create value, not just slop. So I'm very happy about that. And again, you are solving a problem that we all are dealing with.
Yep.
So I'm very happy with that. And again, either you reduce cost, that still is helpful. And if you can generate profit, Sone pe suhaga. We are extremely beneficial. So thank you so much.
Thank you
and
so
I'm
much.
very glad that you are doing this. And I'm very proud to be that you are doing this in India, in-house. So this was a very amazing opportunity. Thank you.